Anyone who could see a sequel to the LEGO Movie coming could also see a video game of said sequel coming, but what was less predicted was the changes that were made this time around. This is the LEGO Movie 2 video game for the Nintendo Switch. Without getting into spoilers, this game of course follows the events of the second LEGO Movie. Basically there's a war between the minifigs of the different worlds and the alien invaders from planet Duplo. You can find plenty of reviews of the film itself out there, so I wanted to just focus on this as a game, even though some points about the film are unavoidable. The main point being that this game mostly gives brief cliff notes of the story events, even just glossing over major events and twists. So if you haven't seen the movie, some parts of the game might be pretty confusing, at least from a plot standpoint. They're probably assuming you've seen the movie before playing this. Maybe, I don't know actually. First I want to touch on that not predicted change I mentioned, which starts with the graphics. Well, the graphics are about the quality you'd expect for a modern LEGO game, except for the inconsistent draw distance. Also, the load times are agonizingly long, slightly longer than even the load times in LEGO City Undercover, which at least had the excuse of a massive, fully fleshed out open world. It's more the visual style I didn't expect. Everything once again is made of Legos, but I noticed the open world design was kept consistent the whole way through.
What's going on?
That's what I thought. I kept waiting for the first level to start until I played enough to realize this is the game. You can constantly turn the camera everywhere and every surface and object is made of Legos. The visuals do look good, I must say, but the sound is more of a mixed bag. There seems to be less voice acting here, the music is just okay, but the sound effects are about as good as you'd expect from a LEGO game. A bit disappointing considering the catchy music that the movie has. It just feels like minimal effort was put into the sound design of the game overall. The LEGO Movie 2 actually uses the same engine as LEGO Worlds, which not only affects the visuals, but also how the game plays. Instead of an overarching overworld or hub world, this game is made up of several small open worlds in the form of planets, just like LEGO Worlds. The universe is connected by these space conduits that send you to a menu screen with all available planets displayed. Then you choose an unlocked planet and hunt for the necessary number of master bricks, which have replaced gold bricks as they open up other conduits. Although there are main storyline objectives to complete and destinations to reach using various characters and abilities, there are no levels in the traditional LEGO game sense. Instead, the game plays just like LEGO Worlds, with how you're given objectives, how you're meant to explore the world to find key objects or fight some bad guys, and how at almost any point you can divert from the story missions to take on side quests. And that's just for starters. In many ways, the game feels less like its own game, and more like a DLC expansion pack for LEGO Worlds. Much of the mechanics are similar, but with some changes made for this game. For example, they don't go so far as to take all those builder tools, and you can't build things brick by brick like in LEGO Worlds, but they do give you tools to use Master Builder abilities to put together new things for platforming or solving puzzles. But even this mechanic wasn't done the typical LEGO way where you break objects apart and use the pieces to build what you need. Instead, you find instruction books for the different builds you need to use throughout the game, and when you break things apart, you actually collect the different color pieces and store them. Then those pieces are used to build the different things you need to proceed in a level, such as a trampoline or a hose to put out fires. That much is a lot like placing pre-built objects in spots like in LEGO Worlds. I did think it was really cool to use Master Builder skills for these final smash type of attacks you could use against the enemies, something I really haven't seen in other LEGO games.
You've just been erased.
This complements other aspects of the combat. While the combat is no competitor to LEGO Ninjago, it did have some design choices that I appreciated, such as some enemies having weak points on their backs, or the gigantic boss fights that mixed exciting platforming with searching for clever ways to disable a boss long enough to climb up and break some bulbs. The game also has a different structure with items that has at least some inspiration from LEGO Worlds. Each world has its own store where you can buy some pre-built objects, more bricks, and shards that form crystal loot boxes which each contain a new item or character. You can also find these loot boxes in treasure chests as you explore. Don't panic though, these are entirely in-game loot boxes. There are no microtransactions in this game, and side note, they better not put microtransactions in LEGO games ever! Anyway, you can then have these loot boxes opened at the stores to earn their random rewards. Some rewards are repeated, but instead of ending up with duplicates, they turn into more shards for more valuable loot boxes, creating more motivation to keep hunting for shards. Also like LEGO Worlds, you can then equip your character with any item you found to get past an obstacle, walk around with a saxophone, or chop down enemies with a chainsaw. Groovy. I gotta say, these items are a lot of fun to play with. This, along with being able to play as any characters you've unlocked at any time, make it feel like you're in free play mode all the time. But while it's fun most of the time, after a while it decreases motivation to find the other story characters since you could just give items to anyone. So using different characters only feels required because the AI are picky about who they interact with. I don't want to say this is bad, but it's controversial among LEGO fans. I can see the side that likes the fun of this early access to choices like characters and weapons, but I also see how it hinders appreciation for the different abilities of all the characters. It also doesn't help that this game doesn't have any red bricks. Yes, those classic items that unlock fun Gs to use in these games are gone, and I have to admit, I'm not a fan of this. Red bricks feel like a nice reward for finishing a game's story mode, a way to have fun with the game beyond the normal rules, which is a big part of LEGO. The final point I'll touch on is the open worlds. While they had some good structures, most of them felt incredibly barren and lifeless. The game excuses this by saying the player is meant to rebuild the world by adding a bunch of new structures of your choice to each world. So it's going for the build a world your way appeal of LEGO Worlds. But it doesn't sell quite as well in this movie tie-in game where you're thinking about playing through a movie and saving the world. Maybe all that world building is better left to LEGO Worlds, especially if you can't even build things in this game like you do in LEGO Worlds. All the structures are pre-built structures. Don't get me wrong, I do appreciate the way Traveler's Tales experimented with the LEGO game formula here. Frankly, it is refreshing to see experimentation, especially for a movie-based game, and some of that did pay off. But the results had their fair share of flaws in the end. Even though I did find plenty of things to like about this game, I also see why it's to this day widely panned by a majority of LEGO game fans. The LEGO Movie 2 video game is really one of those games that's more appealing if you like the movie. Otherwise, you won't like it that much. That's especially true because it's a rather loose tie-in to the film it's based on. Perhaps it would have been better if it was just DLC for LEGO Worlds. But for those of you who love the film, it's an easy recommendation since it's currently on sale for $6. Its regular price is $40, which is still a decent price for it. Again, if you like the movie enough. If you don't like the movie, then play any of the better LEGO games out there. I suggest LEGO Worlds or LEGO City Undercover if you want something not based on a pre-existing licensed IP. Well, that's my review of the LEGO Movie 2 video game for the Nintendo Switch. To help me produce more videos like this and other Nintendo content, please support my Patreon page. Special thanks to these patrons for making this video possible. If you liked this review, check out my previous reviews of these other LEGO games, the LEGO Movie video game for the Wii U, and LEGO Worlds for the Switch. See you all next time!
We made it! Nice work. Here, take this invite to the party.